Everybody, and welcome to the award-winning Absolute Football Podcast, and it's our Absolutely Lower League show, the show dedicated to everything from the EFL Championship, League One, League Two, the Vanarama National League, and the Vanarama National League North and South. Yes, we won, and thank you to each and every person that voted for us. It was a massive shock, wasn't it, guys?
No, obviously we were going to win.
Yeah, I'm trying to be
obvious.
Do you remember what Alan said? Stay humble, and then look what happened.
Stay humble. I'm still shocked, to be honest. I can't believe we won.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That was brilliant.
Yeah, it was honestly mental. But Uncle Nick, how are you and how's your week been? I mean, it's been exactly a week since we were all with each other partying.
It is, yeah. That seems, in some ways, it seems like only a day or so ago. Other way, it seems like it was ages ago. Yeah. A lot's happened in the week. From a very depressing football Saturday, some plus bits around it, but then at the end of Saturday, there was, when I'll go on to it later, the final straw that prompted a fans group being formed, which, like I say, we'll cover later. And then the rest of the week's been good. I had a couple of good days of archery, so that was all good. I met up with one of the guys from Falls lunchtime. We went over to the Farmer's Dog, Clarkson's pub.
Oh, I love that.
And I thought, well, it won't be too bad on a Thursday. So I drive in and the guy says, no parking spaces, no parking spaces. It was absolutely rammed. But it was good. If you, I know it's a long way from you guys, but the food is top notch, really, really good. So on the whole, I've had a pretty good week.
Love that. I love that. I love how you say rammed as well, because I say it, and you sounded quite northern when you said it.
Was I northern then?
Rammed. I love it. Claire, how are you and how's your week been? I mean,
sorry, one more thing. I had a lovely phone call this evening, didn't I, Claire?
Daisy video called everyone.
Clever girl.
Don't know if you all saw our group call video ringing. It was Daisy, and I was like, Daisy, are you on the phone? Yeah, she managed to video call the whole group chat.
She did well.
I love
Clever girl.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm really good, and I must say one of my favourite parts of last Thursday was Uncle Nick watching for me to finish my drink and ask me what I wanted next. What a gentleman.
I know.
No, I loved it. It was such a good week. And yeah, obviously County are doing well, and yeah, just busy with work. What about you? How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Really good. As everyone can tell, Sean actually put a comment asking if we did have any technical difficulties before we go live. We were actually on time, but I did have a bit of a difficulty. I decided to plug my gorgeous podcast light in, the one that has colour behind me. I can change it to purple, pink. Plugged it in, decided to blow up. I've still got my hair for my eyebrows, so at least that's something.
Literally blew up?
Just blew up. Oh
my goodness me.
I know we may be award winning, but we still have technical issues. And last but not least, Ben, how are you and how's your week been? I'm loving the shirt as well.
Oh, thank you. I thought I'd grab one now. This is a 2019-20 shirt. This is from Matchday. So yeah, I was a bit like all of you guys, like absolutely just in a whirlwind from what's been a crazy weekend about that. The amount of messages I've had and everything like that from people, and even people at the football club. Every time I get going in, even some of the players said to me, "Oh, congratulations, well done on the award." So yeah, no, obviously at the end of the day, it's all massive team effort, isn't it? Like everyone that has contributed to all of the shows, and it's absolutely fantastic. Tell you what, Claire, by the way, I'm absolutely loving the mug, I have to say.
I better not be mine that you robbed. That was in your suitcase.
No, I have got yours here. Don't you worry.
Proof. I'm joking.
Wait.
I'll let you off.
I've got Freya's because just by default, Freya didn't pick hers up, so I stole it. Here's yours.
I'll let you off.
I'll get it to you at some point next year. I'm only joking. This year.
Yeah, it's an excuse to meet up.
It is.
And of course, it's not just us. We have a lot of lovely people in the chat. And I love this message. Hi, Anubi, listen to a few podcasts, but why the hate for why the hate for Solihull? Do we hate Solihull? Is that you, Claire? You answer.
I'm pretty sure I know who this is, and it's someone that you used to speak to a long time ago who supports Solihull and Aston Villa. Might I just say I do quite like Aston Villa. I don't like Solihull because of reasons that everybody already knows, including yourself. And I can't remember who else didn't like going there, but
I don't like going there.
Ben doesn't like going there, but it's purely because his team always get beat there. So that's not hate. That's just a hate going and seeing my team lose.
Please feel free to join in, and maybe we'll love Solihull if you carry on coming, listening, and telling us about Solihull.
We've got a lot to win us over with.
I know. You've got Graham who's put good evening award winners. We've got Paul as well. Hello guys, hope you're all well. I'm going to call him Sky Sports Chris, not Spenny fan, because I feel like he's always updating us with results. So Sky Sports Chris. Good evening, award-winning podcast. We've got Simon as well. Evening award winners. Happy Frank Lampard Day. Don't know if any of you saw the news. Did anyone see about, I know it's Premier League, but Ruud van Nistelrooy has gone to Leicester as well. I'm really happy for him, to be fair. I like
good move for Leicester as well.
Yeah, very good move. Chris as well, lovely to see Uncle Nick in the pictures from the award show. So he must have thought we don't look very good, but Uncle Nick looked phenomenal.
That's when I was being the professional photographer.
Yes.
I must have taken about 20 pictures while I was waiting for you lot.
I know.
Might as well make yourself useful.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
You've got as well, Glenn has put, happy Thanksgiving. Then we've got Championes. What an award-winning team. Sean has put, seems like my good luck video worked, but massive congratulations, everyone, fully deserved. I know that was a lovely video as well, so thank you.
Good luck video. I did not see that.
It was the one Sam told us about. We watched it, but you don't have that. Is it called Blue Sky?
Oh yeah, I don't have it. Yeah, I do remember him saying.
Kyla's put, good evening, ladies and gents. Or should that be award-winning legends? Oh, someone I really, really want to speak to.
What is my iPad doing?
We've got Luke as well. All right, everyone. Time to talk about Saturday's National League games. Not bother with Tuesdays. Don't worry, I've not actually got much to say on that, to be fair. So, but I might just do it because you're here, Luke. Evening, Shara, Uncle Nick, Claire, Ben, Sean, Graham, Simon, Glenn, Sam, and Husky. Aw, so cute. Glenn has put, well done to you all on your award. We have got as well, Michael, we are actually starting with National League. So if you have anything to say on Dale, send in your match report. He's put Gateshead fans claiming to shoot us outside. Beware, to be fair. Who's sending stuff on Twitter, but I think it was just a minority. Just a minority. Loving the mug, Claire. We've got our very own Jen. There's a lot of people in the chat tonight. Thank you.
Feel better, Jen.
I know. Hope you get well soon, Jen. She's struggling at the minute, bless her. Evening all. I hope everyone is well today. Hello, Dietrich. Hope you're okay too. We've got a lot of people. We've got Russ. Evening, everyone. Come on, Dan. Go live from the kitchen. You daredevil.
Imagine.
Imagine. Why is everyone in the chat? Get on. Where are you all? Coming Ben over with that beaming smile. He's already loving Solihull. Is that true,
Sorry,
Ben?
I turned the phone upside down. That's just scary.
I did hear a rumour, though, that it does prefer Solihull to Newport Valkyrien. I'm joking. Chris said, I say that because I didn't know Uncle Nick was going to be award show. Must have missed that. We're only joking. Uncle Nick did look very handsome, didn't you, Uncle Nick, in your suit?
Yeah, I made an effort. I made an effort, that's for sure.
Very
It was.
Luke's but looking forward to it, Shara. I have plenty to say from that game, and it's not nice. Looking forward to it too. Kieran's put missing you lot from what is a busy random road in the middle of nowhere. Well, could stream from there if you wanted to.
Clearly got signal.
Exactly. Everyone prefers every club compared to Newport. It's all right. And then Dietrich is laughing at Kieran. But yes, we will start with the National League. So if we do have any National League fans in here, if you want to send in any match reports or have your say on anything to do with your club, please do it now. The order we will be running in tonight is National League North and South, Championship, League One, and then League Two, because Uncle Nick does have a lot to say about Swindon. And we never start with the National League, so I wanted to get in there first. So, first of all, Rochdale versus Oldham was off. There was a lot of angry Oldham fans that did turn around and say the reason that Rochdale did call it off was because a certain Cairo Mitchell was injured, which isn't true because he was due to be in the squad. But we did have very heavy rain. But yeah, there was a lot of angry Oldham fans because we did apparently take the frost covers off the day before, and then we had that torrential rain. So yeah, there was a very angry bunch of Oldham fans. But I do want to give credit where credit's due to Dale, because all the food that we did, obviously, make and that were there, we've donated to the soup kitchen and the food bank at Rochdale. So giving back to the community. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to the club on that. But yeah, any standouts for anyone? Ben, I'll come to you first. Is there any standouts on here for you?
Well, the obvious one I think there is obviously before they capitulated clearly on Tuesday, Gateshead's 5-0 win over Maidenhead. That is a long old trip for them on, down south of them, but scored 5 goals, a couple of quality ones. I think I watched a couple of the goals as well, including one from our very own Regan Booty, one in the top corner, beautiful finish.
What name that is?
I know, honestly. I'd never came up with enough booty tweets or anything like that. I wasn't creative enough. I'm sure the Gateshead media team are more creative than I am with it. I thought one of them would have been too much X-rated, so I thought I'm not going to go there. So, and to be fair, the other one is, in a big game down at the bottom, Boston United beating Braintree. I watched the highlights from that because I was warned of the 2 absolute howlers from our ex-goalkeeper, Lucas Coverland, and they were big howlers. I can tell you. What went straight through him, somehow I think he tried to catch it like that, and it's gone straight through him. And the other one is sort of like a volley from about 30 yards out. All he needs to do is catch it up here. He's ended up tipping it into the roof of his own net. It was very bizarre now. I mean, their media team trying to blame the wind, and I was like, no, come on, now you can't blame the wind for everything. but that's a bad result for Braintree though, and that's obviously with what's happened their manager as well, which we might mention as well, that Angela Hallop's been dismissed now by Braintree, which I think is a massive shock, to be honest, because they're competing really well in the National League for the resources they've got, and they got an unexpected promotion last year, and already they've sacked him. I just think, what do they expect? Do they expect him to be in the playoffs? So
exactly.
I found that one very bizarre, to be honest. I do feel a bit for Braintree fans because, I don't think he deserves that at all.
I just wanted to mention this as well, because we didn't mention it, obviously not being on last week, but Boston have appointed ex-Newport manager as well, haven't they? Graham Coughlin. So, yeah, very good appointment for them. And we have Paul in the chat. So, hi, Paul. Hope you're okay. Claire, I'm going to ask you, is there any standouts for you? I think I've got a feeling which one you're going to go for as well.
You can't not talk about a 4-3, can you? And it's nothing to do with my thoughts on the home team before anyone says anything. But I think a 4-3 away result is a brilliant result. I mean, saying that, if you score 3 goals, you'd expect to win. And Solihull's defence, I have to give him credit, is normally pretty spot on. Obviously, they must have been having an off day. But what a win for Hartlepool. Because I know that, Hartlepool are not doing bad, the mid-table, but They've had a bit of an indifferent season, haven't they? Like scored 24, conceded 24, which obviously can't be boring because they're scoring enough goals. But yeah, I just think it's a really good win for them.
Claire, I see that is also all the goals were scored up to the 65th minute. So
Yeah,
they must have all been knackered after that.
I know. Yeah.
so much effort in.
Yeah. Not only that though, I think there was Boston, obviously a good new manager bounce. I reckon that's a really good win for them against Braintree. I know obviously there's been struggles with Braintree, but Boston, like second bottom of the league, so it's a really good win for them.
Completely agree. Just going back to Hartlepool as well, we do have Paul in here, and he's obviously a Hartlepool, and he has put very indifferent so far, not finding the right balance, but we are starting to find a balance now. I'm happy for Hartlepool as well because they've really struggled, haven't they, especially off the pitch.
Yeah.
And when we played them, I know the fans weren't happy about obviously everything going on, and it's just really good to see because, to be fair to Hartlepool, they do have quite a good squad. They've got the players as well, so hopefully, fingers crossed, they have found a feet. We've got in the chat as well, Sam will be very happy. We love Sam. Hoyland has scored the equaliser for Manchester United. We have Aled who's put Evening Hall, and off the pitch was horrible. Uncle Nick, is there any standouts for you in National League?
I don't know so much about a standout, but I see obviously York were going really well and get a 4-0 victory. But Yeovil had a player sent off in the 10th minute and then another one in the 90th. So you lose a player against, I think York are top of the league. Yeah, I believe. You lose a player against top of the league after 10 minutes and you're going to struggle, aren't you? And that's a fair old trip as well, Yeovil up to York. So, obviously a great win for Yeovil with Ollie Pearce getting a hat-trick. So, happy days for him.
I like Ollie Pearce. I think he's a great player. Really do like Ollie Pearce.
His goal scorer record. I mean, I might have thought he might have adapted quite well to level, maybe got 15 goals, something like that. But he's absolutely smashing it at the moment. He's just basically continuing where he left off last season, which is massive credit to him. But then again, he's played under the manager before, so he's used to his style of play and he knows where he wants him in the right areas. Even the same with Joe Felix, as he brought him in from Worthing as well. That's the thing. They've got some real talent in that team now, York, and I mean. Albeit, we mentioned obviously their result didn't go very well, during midweek. But even then, that's still a big result against a very informed Yeovil team who have been going under the radar a little bit. So that's no easy feat, even with 10 men.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay.
I was just going to say I know weren't Yeovil down to 9 men as well. I think.
Well, the report said 9, but it only showed 2 getting sent off. So. I don't know.
Uncle Nick.
Oh no, sorry. Maths has always been my strong point.
Uncle Nick, you've been spending too much time with me.
It's been a long.
This one.
It's been a long week.
That's funny.
Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Oh yeah.
Was that having drinks you had the other week?
I did have a glass of red wine today, so maybe that's it.
Do you know what? This is why we won the award, though. This is the content everyone wants to see. Us being ourselves.
I actually just love you. Like, love you. I'm crying.
Just going back anyway, just for the chat.
Well, I'm glad they got beat now.
Green Acres has put the second goal for York against Yeovil was a bit of a howler for the keeper, as was the equaliser for Halifax last night at Forest Green. They've also put, Pierce has made a jump up from Conference South look easy. Completely agree with that. And we played York the other week. They are a good team. Very good team. Going back to the other comments as well, Chris has said that his standout was Solihull 3, Hartlepool 4. What a crazy game. And obviously, I'll be nice to him at the minute. We have Luke and his match report. So, Maidenhead away. Superb victory on the road, and we did it in style with a 5-0 win against Maidenhead. Really good and impressive performance from our lads against a poor Maidenhead side. I'm still giggling at that, Uncle Nick. It really made me laugh. Lucas, but that'll be added to the blooper reel.
In there.
Laughing. And I'll be serious for a minute. Paul has put, when we played York, we got beat 4-3. Bang average, to be honest. Individual mistakes stopped us getting a point or all three. Alex put, Braintree got rid of the manager. We did just mention that. Green Acres has put, does the Gateshead fan think they can sustain a promotion challenge? Get talking, Luke, but also send in your match report, because I am going to get to the next slide in a minute. Oh, he's just put, yeah, I think so. Right, so we will go on to the next slide. Before we do, Russ has put, Maidenhead need to spend some of that Kilman money.
Go on, you thought Dale, I muted myself.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm going to leave Dale till last because I've got some match reports to read. I'll come to you first, Uncle Nick. Any standouts on this slide?
I don't speak actually. That goes sort of my second, third, fourth, fifth team, Oxford. They've been on a reasonable run. Pulled a goal back to make it one each, but lost with the 74th minute to Buxton. So obviously a bit of a blow for them, as they had been doing reasonably well. So, but what else have we got? I haven't really, I guess, your old friends, Oldham, obviously 4-0 victory. That's always not a bad thing. It must have been, decent result for them. And like you say, obviously, not great for Boston. Did you say they got rid of their manager?
Yeah, they did. And a couple of weeks ago, and they've got the ex-Newport manager, Graham Coughlin, in. Right,
so obviously he's going in the hard way if he was there then. But yeah, so that'll be about it, Oldham. I'm not saying any more.
To be fair, I know there are rivals, but to be fair to Oldham, and I've said it all season, but they've made a couple more signings and they are flying at the minute. The goals are coming from Norwood, they're coming from Stones, who they've signed. Obviously, they've got Fondop. I love his name. Look, I think, is he called Lundstrom as well? He's scoring goals. And I honestly think, I know Barnet and Forest Green are up there, but I honestly think if Oldham carry on, they'll be in a shout as well, because they are absolutely flying at the minute. And it pains me to say it, but you have to give them credit where credit's due, because they really are a force. So, there we go.
Did you hear?
Yeah, 100%. They've spent money, haven't they? Quite a lot of money.
Did you hear that Fondop's changed his name?
Better not have.
It's called something like Fondop Talum or something now.
I think he's been called that for a while now, I think. I don't know how long ago.
Double-barreled it.
Yeah, I'd expect them to be on the serious promotion challenge, to be honest, because this is what their third season now in this division. So you'd expect after the first one is like consolidate, second season build towards sort of a playoff challenge. And then this year, I think really they should be going for it, because as we always said at the start of the season, there's no real standout title winners in there. So I would, expect nothing less for Oldham to try and go for the title, because I said they've still got a game in hand as well, and they win that, they're only 3 points behind Barnet. So it's such a
who's
such
the
a
game
close...
in hand, Ben? Who's the game in hand? It's against us.
That's what I'm talking about. 3 points, isn't it?
Oh,
he meant for Rochdale.
We're gonna go there.
Say nothing now.
It wouldn't have been that brave last week saying that, though, would
Exactly.
it?
No, she would have.
Said it
No,
now.
Charles would have throttled me if I tried that last week.
100%. 100%.
Too funny.
That was a low blow. Proper low blow. But yeah, Aled as well as mentioned. Oldham. I actually pronounced my H for once. It's because I'm stressed with Ben's comment. I actually pronounced my H. It never happens. Oldham have got a manager who has got promoted from the 5th division. What's going on tonight? Division with Tranmere and Fleetwood. Yeah, very good manager in Mickey Mellon. Obviously, he's got the experience.
Not a big Mickey Mellon fan, I've got to be totally honest.
Yeah, I don't mind him. For me, like, the standout in there has got to be Altrincham. Aside from Oldham, it's a really solid win against a team that are doing really well.
Yeah, they're picking up as well, Altrincham, because they had a bit of a slow start to the season. I don't know if it was a sort of a hangover from the end of last season where they got into the playoffs, but they've really sort of started to kick on now, sort of the last 3 or 4 weeks, and a win against York, like I said, is come off of the back of a 4-0 home win. Like, that is not easy at all. So 3-0 win, like, that's massive credit to them. I think it puts them back in the playoff places as well. So yeah, they're starting to show the quality that we know they're capable of.
Can we just give some credit as well to Regan Linney? I mentioned him a couple of weeks ago, and there was a lot of people saying how inconsistent he was at the minute, and he's really starting to like find his feet now, and he's scoring a lot of goals. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him, and what a player! Like, what a player. Sean has put, I wonder if Mickey Mellon's middle name is what?
I remember once I saw a game when he was at Tranmere. Like, I think it was his first game when he got reintroduced as manager. I think one of their fans turned up with a cut-up melon and put it on his head. It really good. I'd have to try and find the photo somewhere. It was really good, actually. I never would have thought that.
We do have in the chat as well, obviously, Paul, and he has mentioned the Hartlepool game. So let me get it up. 1 minute. I can't find the comments. So, Hartlepool Fylde game. Mr. Challoner and family was at the game. And then he has also put dominated game, Fylde. It's Fylde, isn't it? It said put Flyed. Fylde kept losing the second ball. Both teams scored offside and foul, respectively. Hit and miss. Finally got the breakthrough from corner by Park 3-man. And then he's also put, after that, Fylde came to life and dominated. We sat back and defended. Very surprised Fylde didn't score. Had their best spell of the game when we scored, which was unusual, but gladly held off.
A good solid win, that, Paul.
Very good. Kevin Phillips is at Fylde as well, isn't he? And obviously he was at Hartlepool not that long ago.
Yeah.
Ant loves Kevin Phillips, doesn't he?
Yeah. What's the crowd he walked on?
I know. We've got a few more people in the chat as well before I do go on to Luke's comments. Green Eggs has put, I was supposed to go to our away game at Oldham back in September. I had to cancel and change my hotel booking for when we play Alta in January. Could be a decent game. Oh, Paul has also mentioned this, about Hartlepool. Brought Medine on, almost scored with his first touch, which pulled off a lovely save from Fylde's keeper. Then he scored on a rebound on the corner and took the sting out of their tail. And he's put, yes, Phillips is. Gary Medine, he's been around for ages. I remember when we had him on loan. What a throwback. And then we have in the chat as well, we've got another Paul. It's full of Pauls tonight. So hi, everyone. Everyone called Paul. It's put, how do you guys think Tamworth have adapted to life in the National League? And do you think they'll go under the radar somewhat as their season progresses? What are we thinking about Tamworth?
I think, to be fair, I think they've certainly picked up now. I mean, the weird thing is the fact that they are very vulnerable to a heavy defeat. They have had a couple of them this season, but then again, they have been very much picking up a couple of big results against some of the better teams in the league. I mean, it wasn't that long ago they beat Gateshead, I think it was. So Yeah, I mean, I think they're sitting just in the below the bottom half of the table, but
Yeah.
you know, I think they were like second from bottom not that long ago. I thought so. You know, they've really sort of pushed up now, and I think they're only 5 points off the playoffs. So yeah, I think they've slowed that. I think it is one of those things where we go, look, it's the first season because of their promotion that they got the momentum to just stay up, and then it's the second season where you sort of go, you know, can they consolidate again? Because that's always the difficulty. So I'll be interested to see if they can pull it off and then carry on next season with it as well. But I think so far, I think they've adapted really well.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Last but not least as well. Oh, Paul has put as well, second half of the season, Tamworth might make a push. Green Acres has put, Tamworth had a win in the cup. Live on the telly, there is a lot to like about them, how the club is run too. Obviously, the Dale game. So I've got Michael. He's our Dale fan. So he put Gateshead match report. We played very well. Thought we should have scored more than one. Also, that was never a red card for Beckwith. I completely agree with that. I thought both of his yellows were quite harsh, to be fair, but especially that second yellow. So I do agree with that. But it is what it is. It's football. It happens. You just got to get on with it, haven't you? Luke has put Rochdale at home. I have already said this on Twitter, but I will say it again. Not good enough, I'm afraid, at all. Absolutely no urgency whatsoever. Far too slow, far too passive when we were a goal down and a man down, but fair play to Rochdale. Looked quite a good side when they actually got the ball. However, we need to bounce back. Yeah, to be fair, that goal, I don't know if any of you saw it, but it was actually crossed from Conor McBride and it hit the Gateshead defender. He put it obviously in the back of his net. That was just after Sam Beckwith got sent off. So I was watching it on what's it called, DAZN. I think it's DAZN, isn't it? I call it DAZN, so everyone laughed at me, but DAZN, I'll call it now.
I call it well.
I call it DAZN.
Same.
But I thought everyone will take the mick. But I was watching it, and obviously after Beckwith obviously got sent off for his second yellow, I thought, here we go. It's got this far. We're 0-0. Here we go. And then a couple of minutes later, obviously that happened. And to be fair to us, I thought we defended very, very well. He brought a couple more defenders on, and one of them was Jido Keke as well, who obviously we've got on loan from you. And we brought him on and we set up, I think it was like 5 at the back, 3 in midfield, and then Ian Henderson just up front on his own. But Ian Henderson was then tracking back, and that was for like the last half an hour of the match. So yeah, I thought, to be fair, I know people have criticised Jim McNulty before and obviously his substitutions, but I thought he did a very good job. I know Gateshead fans weren't very happy because our keeper was time wasting a bit, but even the commentators on DAZN turned around and said if it would have been the same, if Gateshead were 1-0 up at our place, they would have done exactly the same. So as much as I can see it being really frustrating for them, at the end of the day, you have to do it, don't you? And try and see the game out. But yeah, our keeper did take the mick a little bit, but
you only get wound up by those sort of things when the referee actually doesn't, do anything about it. That's the thing, because that's the thing. We all think the same. Like, the keeper's time waste, our keeper's all time waste, but it's when the referees don't get onto it. That's when it annoys me. That's what I think the way I look at it.
Definitely, he did take the mick a bit. And don't get me wrong, I think at one point he did get a knock, but then any little thing you were just going down for, we were rolling on the floor and kind of wasting time. And from our perspective, being a Rochdale fan, it was quite funny because it's like, ha, but then I'm thinking it again, oh no, will this kind of bite us on the backside because we're wasting this much time? But luckily it worked in our favour and we actually beat Gateshead, which doesn't happen. So I'm sorry, Luke, but I'm a bit happy about that.
Up the Dale.
I know. I saw your comment to him as well. That was very harsh. Up the Dale you just put, didn't you?
Luke's got to admit it's been a long time coming. Let him enjoy it.
So we have got the National League table. We spent a bit more time on National League than I anticipated, but we never usually do we? So top of the table, we have Barnet on 43 points, Forest Green Rovers are second on 42 points. York are third on 41 points. Oldham Athletic are fourth on 37 points. Gateshead are fifth, also on 37 points. Rochdale, the Dale, woo, sixth on 33 points. And then we have Altrincham, who are seventh on 30 points. And then in the relegation zone in 21st, we have Maidenhead United on 19 points. AFC Fylde are 22nd on 18 points. Boston United are 23rd on 14 points. That made me laugh, that laugh. And Ebbsfleet United are bottom of the National League table on 8 points. Oh, I love this. Oh, look.
Oh.
I said a friendly hello to Ian Henderson after the game and wished him all the best for the rest of the season. Great chap he is. And then he's put, at least we're still in the playoffs. Gulp for now. You'll still be there, Luke. Don't worry.
And there was that positive news as well for Gateshead about the wording on the agreement that meant that they couldn't be in the playoffs last year. So it's really good that that's now being resolved to a point that they can go on. So they've got something to play for again. So they did well last season, Luke. You should do well again this season.
It's a long goal season as well. It is a long goal season, so you never know. I'm loving the love for Ian Henderson. Rochdale win playoff final. The goal Ian Henderson scores in extra time, 109th minute, with the last touch of his career happening. But then he's going to tease everyone. He's going to play his testimonial and think, do you know what? I loved it that much. I'm not even going to retire. That's a little glimmer of hope I've got because I love Hendo that much. Or he joins Jim McNulty's coaching staff. I love that.
It probably will.
I hope so. But I've spent enough time talking about National League. We will go on to the National League North results. Do you know what, Claire? I'm going to come to you first. Is there any standouts for you on here? And the Curzon Ashton and Radcliffe Borough game did get abandoned as well.
Yeah, I saw that. It was true to the weather. Chris, one of our fans, was there because he couldn't go to County's game. And he said, like, the weather was, like, apocalyptical. He said it was awful. You can't really not talk about South Shields. 5-1 is a massive win, isn't it? Biggest win of the day by far. I know Farsley.
You say it like me.
Farsley.
Love it.
We were laughing about that last week, weren't we, actually? Because me and Shah were saying that she always gets laughed at, but I don't.
I know. We say things exactly the same, but I'm the one that gets bullied off everyone.
I know Farsley had gone 4-0 up by like the 33rd minute or something. No, South Shields had gone up 4-0 up by the 33rd minute.
Wow.
And then I think when Farsley scored their goal, South Shields got the 5th like 1 minute later. So, yeah, I think it was a really good result. But I know Farsley are in a really bad run of form.
Uncle Nick. Oh,
lost
sorry,
4 out. Sorry, I was going to say, I think they've lost like 4 out of 5 matches or something like that.
Yeah, they are really struggling. But South Shields as well are picking up, aren't they? Because at one point, was I right in saying they were struggling a little bit?
Yeah, I think they were.
They've picked up the form.
Yeah.
Definitely have. Uncle Nick, any standouts for you? Or your Oxford City's there as well? You mentioned them before, didn't you?
Oh.
You're on mute, Nick.
You're on mute, Uncle Nick.
God, this is going really well. We're such an award-winning team. This is just so professional.
We don't do professional any year.
Oh, thank God for that. No, the team I would say is the only one who got an away win was Scunthorpe. And obviously, you know, any away win is always good and you look out for. And, you know, we over the seasons, we've had some ups and downs against Scunthorpe when they were in League Two with us. So you know, whether you like him or not, you just don't want to see him going down that low when they've been a league side. So yeah, it's I guess that's a decent win for them. But yeah, the rest of the results, apart from say Shields, it's all very, very tight. So yeah, a few draws, a few 2-1s. So I guess that's just going to be quite a tight league come the end of the season.
Yeah.
Ben, any standouts for you or any you want to talk about?
There's got to be the Chester win over the league leaders, surely.
Yeah.
I mean, surely have been flying this season, really. You know, although a bit cousin Aston, I think have still got a couple of games in hand over them. You know, they've stormed ahead now of Scunthorpe, who I thought after about September, October, I thought they were going to go and run, route this league, but obviously it's all sort of gone down a little bit for them. But yeah, for Chester, that keeps them within the playoff shout at the moment. So that's a good win against a side that been very difficult to beat so far this season. So yeah, and again, I think we always took another relegation 6-pointer at the moment. Marine beating Needham Market. That's much needed for Marine because they've been struggling a little bit, and it sort of stops that gap a little bit between them and getting out of the bottom four. I think they're only 1 point off now from getting out of the bottom four, so they needed that. But that's a damaging result for Needham Market, really, because that's the sort of games they need to be winning if they're going to stay in that league. So yeah, not a great day at the office for them, and that would have been a hell of a long trip as well for those Needham Market fans.
Yeah. Just a quick update as well. The goal does stand for Manchester United. Rasmus Højlund did score. It was a VAR check.
Why are we talking about it? It's not
Sam's in. Sam's giving up his time, though, to be fair, isn't he? So we'll let Sam have his win. We love Sam.
He's probably got in the background anyway.
I know. It's only because it's Sam. So Chris has put as well. So obviously Peterborough Sports, Spenny versus Spennymoor. Couldn't make this game as I was ill. I hope you're okay. Peterborough scored on the 12th minute, but Spennymoor scored on the 17th minute when Rob Ramshaw volleyed in the goal, finished 1-1, a decent point.
I was going to say, it would have been a wasted journey for a 1-1, but it sounds like you're happy with that, so shame. I hope you are.
It's made me laugh. I actually got a bit excited because I genuinely thought, and then I twigged on.
Imagine. All right.
Oh, funny. I just want to mention as well, we're actually on the National League North, and we mentioned Radcliffe. How much of legends we spent a lot of time with, obviously Gaz Seddon and Jordan Hume, obviously last week at the Content Awards, and what an amazing pair of guys they are. And you know when people say about footballers and like heroes and things like that, and sometimes you get a good reaction. Sometimes people are disappointed. They are two of the genuinely funniest people I've ever met. And so it was so good, weren't it, to chat properly and spend some time with them. So I just wanted to give them a shout out because what a great bunch of guys they were.
I feel like my face was hurting from laughing that they were just that funny. But yeah, really nice couple of lads. And I was really pleased for them to win as well. So even if they didn't beat up.
I know. This chat as well, Sam has put, I'm being good not talking about it, but if Mason Mount scores, this chat is going off. This poddy is going off. I mean, I am doing this pot, all of you lot. Mason Mount doesn't play very often. I'm giving up Mason Mount time to give you all content. This is how dedicated I am. I could be sitting at home, which I am, watching Mason Mount.
Don't lie and pretend you've not got it on in the corner.
I'm actually not. I'm being good. But yeah, so I'm just putting it all out there. I could have easily cried off tonight after I saw that team news, but I didn't. And we were on time tonight. Putting it out there, you lot. You've got to be honest, haven't you? There's no secrets here.
100%.
Ben, I'll come to you first. Any standouts on the midweek fixtures in National League North?
It's difficult. I mean, obviously, Curzon Ashton as well. I think that's like back-to-back defeats for. Oh no, actually, to be fair, I'm just looking. Actually, I think a few of them actually got wrong names on. So I've just because I always had the
Probably.
table.
Yeah,
I think Curzon Southport. I think it was.
Never mind.
No, it's fine.
Do what I want. Do what I want. I've won an award now. Yeah.
Keeping us on my toes there, so it means I've actually got to look.
Exactly.
I think you've left last week's on maybe.
That's absolutely fine. Like I said, I've won the award now. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't care.
I think, to be fair, then the big one maybe in terms of, obviously, after a damaging defeat of the weekend, probably need a market actually getting a win at Leamington. You know, that's not easy to do on a Tuesday night, but that's the thing. That gap really opened up. I think there would have been about 6-7 points off the Exeter in the bottom four, but I think that puts them with a bit of a glimmer of hope again. So they are slowly grinding out those results that need. Obviously, ignoring the signing of Brackley Town getting a good win as well, Russell Olympics. So again, they've really need to push on a little bit more because they probably think they've underperformed so far in the division. So compared to what they used to, they're normally always up challenging for the title. But I know they're not too far off it at the moment. But I mean, they're sitting outside the playoffs, so they need that win to sort of stay in the mix a little bit. So that's probably the standout for me.
I love how, because I outsass them as well, no one in the chat has said about my mistakes. I'm getting sassy with them. They're all scared.
I was scared to be honest, but I was like, you do what you want.
I'll just put up the league table if I was you and move on.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It didn't happen. Oh, funny. So we do have Chris, though. I will read his report out. He's put Marine away off to Liverpool as we went to face Marine and we came away with a 2-2 draw. I can't believe I made all the mistakes. Oh, man. Started off so well on the 16th minute with a lovely goal by Isaac Fletcher. 10th league goal, but it wasn't at the end of the first half when Marine equalised. Then Marine scored 5 minutes into the second half. It was 2-1, but into 6 minutes of injury time when new loanee Aidan Rutledge scored his first goal to secure a point away from home. Luke, but Chris is making me look bad with these match reports now.
He thinks he's a pundit. I'm only joking, Chris.
Oh, it just makes me laugh that literally no one's calling the mistakes out anymore because I'm used to like fight. Let's hope I've got these ones right. Have I? I don't know.
They look right to me, don't worry.
Yeah, if they don't, right. Just make it up then.
Yeah, exactly. I know what happened at the weekend, so it's fine.
I'll come to you anyway, Ben. Any standouts?
I mean, to be fair, big point for Enfield Town at Dorking. Where they are sitting currently at the moment, they've having a massive struggle. And going to Meadowbank's not easy for any team at the moment. But I did watch Mark White's interview after the game, and he was livid about a penalty decision that went against him. And to be fair, I sympathise with him because I've seen the call, and it was the most blatant shirt pull inside the box I've ever seen. And apparently the assessor for the referee called it, I think, at half time to the official. And he wasn't happy with his overall performance. So, but either way, Dorking will be seeing that as 2 points drops. And Western not having a Western again, like they just seem to keep putting results out of the bag. I think they were 3-2 down going into the last 10 minutes against Farnborough and scored 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. So that's a sign for me of a side that could well be a serious contender for that title because they just putting results out of the bag from everywhere at the moment. Them in Truro. No one had them, I think, at the start of the season to be where they are at the moment. So, it could well be a battle between a few of those sides. It's a case of if they can stay there after Christmas, then they've got every chance. But that's a couple of big results for them, and just in terms of keeping themselves in the pack and moving away a little bit, and also securing their playoff place as well, because that would probably be the aim. They're probably not even thinking about the tie; they're probably thinking about playoffs.
What's happening to Emerald?
Oh God, you don't want to. Well, we haven't got to Monday's result yet because it got a lot worse for them on that. I've no idea. All I can say is I don't know how the manager hasn't been sacked yet, to be honest, because I'm pretty sure, if I'm right in saying the fact they're 14 games without a win now, and they've only picked up 2 points in their last 12. So, they're in a bad place at the moment. They haven't won a single game since I think it's the beginning of September. So, and the results are just going from bad to worse for them. I'd say Monday's one will show that, but yeah, no, they're just all going wrong for them. Just a quick word on our game, and all I say is an absolute disgrace of a decision from the officials to postpone that game, because we turned up to the ground at about 1 o'clock and the pitch was in immaculate condition. The Salisbury staff done a phenomenal job on getting that pitch playable. But the referee said the ball wasn't bouncing, even though he was dropping it from below his knee, so you can't actually check it's a bounce or not. You got both our managers smashing the ball up in the air, and the ball's bouncing perfectly fine. And apparently the lino was, felt concerned for his safety and that on the sidelines. There was a few puddles down the side, but I was just like, well, hang on, the other side of the pitch is completely fine, as in the other side to it. So he could have used the other side. So I don't understand what went on really with that. So obviously a lot of unhappy fans because the supporters coach were already there. So that's a 2.5 hour journey wasted for all of them, which I feel sorry for them really. But due to the night it is, but I mean, massive credit to Salisbury. They were so accommodating to us, and they did feel really bad in that. So massive shout out.
Can you claim anything off the league for
the National League? I mean, we're still waiting for our money from 2021, so I don't. We're going to get anything from them this time around. So yeah, it wasn't great, but it's nice. Got to spend 5 hours in the coach room with a bunch of players. What more could you want? All pissed off at the result.
Am I right in saying as well today Weymouth have sacked their manager?
I don't know actually. I haven't actually seen much, but
I hope I've not just made that up. Let me double check.
It sounds like something that you couldn't make up.
I don't know. It's me.
To be fair, they wouldn't surprise me, because I mean, Mark Moles has gone back in there and it's gone wrong for him, because he got them up to the National League the first time, and this year's I had them down in the bottom four from the beginning, because I just thought they're just not going to go anyway, because they paid us at the end of last season and they were poor. So
Jason Matthews is taking interim charge until they search for a new manager.
Well, yeah, it's Albany manager chase really, because St Albans have sacked David Noble as well. So we're hoping that because we've got St Albans on Saturday, and at the moment they're being coached by our ex-manager Harry Wheeler, who's we call the clown at the club, because he pretty much dissolved the spirit of the football club when he was in charge. A lot of the fan favourites left while he was there, and I think he only won a couple of games in that, and he was gone. I think we only had him for 3 months, and he got basically hammered out by all the supporters. So I don't think he's going to quite get a nice reception on Saturday from a lot of our fans, to be fair. So it'd be interesting if they've appointed anyone before then.
And then we'll get on to the midweek game. So any standouts there? I mean, there's two at the top, really, isn't there?
Yeah, go on, Mark White.
Go on, the lad.
Do you know what? That's a mental Monday that was. I just kept seeing the goal notifications coming through and that, and Dorking, what can you say? 7-1 away from home. It doesn't matter how bad Hemel have been recently. No side very often. Not many times we'll go and score 7 goals away from home in any division, let alone this division.
Seven goals in general.
Well, exactly. I mean, they've actually been struggling to score goals this year, to be in comparison to when they've been in this division before. But I watched a lot of their goals, and some of them were very well worked goals, to be fair. As much as there was some poor defending and that, and I felt a bit sorry for their keeper, because to be honest, if it weren't for their keeper, it would have been double figures. He kept them, a good number of shots out, and I think that's a low point. I've seen no post-match interview from the Hemel manager or anything, so I'm surprised they just haven't sacked him, because after the start they had, they can't have slipped away the way they have so quickly. I mean, they're only 6 points above relegation now. 2 months ago they were 3-4 points clear at the top. So it's funny how football changes so quick and how much confidence is a big thing. But Aveley as well, let me know where's that from. One of our ex-players, Razak Khan de Graaf, got a hat trick in that as well.
17 goals in one night in 2 games. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's remarkable, to be fair. But Aveley, to be fair, that's a big win for them at the bottom, because goal scoring has been their big problem this year. They've lost a lot of their talent from last year to better clubs in the National League, and they've struggled to replace that. But I think Razak Coleman, the graph player we had last year before he got his move to Aveley, he scored a hat-trick as well. I think it's his first senior hat-trick, I think it was. So, that's a tremendous result for them. But we got to go there on Monday as well. So hopefully they haven't got their scoring boots on then.
Is there any other standouts before you talk to us about Maidstone?
Not particularly. I wouldn't say there is particularly. To be fair, Slough needed a win at Chippenham, just after a bad result against Welling, to be fair. And Chippenham is a hard place to go to, I always found. It's very sort of close, the atmosphere. They're not a bad side at home. It's a big, slopey pitch they have to play on, but 3-0 is the best response they could have come up with after that defeat against Welling. So, yeah, sort of keeps them in the playoff places at the moment, Scott Davis's side. But, our perspective, we thought it could go either way because Eastbourne are a good side. That they've got a very good squad of players, I thought this would be our toughest test so far in the league. I think the players probably were a bit more refreshed, and obviously having not played on the Saturday, so that might have helped, kept us in good stead. And to be fair, got off to the best possible start. Bivish Garung, firing of absolute bullet of a goal from about 25 yards out. His first goal, believe it or not, since his memorable win against Barrow last year in the FA Cup, and he only ever scored screamers for this football club. So I'm delighted for him because he's had a bit of a some bad form, I think, recently. So he's needed that a lot. Very evenly contested first half, I would say. Not really many clear-cut chances apart from that. I think they had one good, fairly good chance, which Alexis Andre Jr. had to get a toe to. But then second half, they thought they came out better. And the problem was for us, we kept giving away too many free kicks in silly areas, in and around the 18-yard box. And eventually they were going to punish us from one in which they did. George Alexander heading at the back post to get Eastbourne on terms and probably deserved it. The balance at the beginning of the second half. And then the gaffer, introduced a few substitutes, and which, by the way, all made a difference. We've brought back Sol Wanjo Smith, who we had last year, the last couple of years, on loan from Bath City for the rest of the season. And, he's very much a player, very clever in terms of how he wins set pieces. He's a bit more of a shit house, I would say, to other teams. And he was well up for it. He loves the football club. He does love the supporters, and you could tell he was well up for it. He wanted to get a goal because every time he kept getting the ball, he kept shooting. So it's there. But he was absolutely tremendous, and we managed to get a goal sort of 20 minutes before the end. The ball was cut back to Anthony Papadopoulos. Again, another brilliant cold effort into the top corner. Sort of goal out of absolutely nowhere. And he's a player we need to try and keep hold of or extend his loan period from Crawley Town because he's been instrumental in our form, recently. That's the thing. You need the moments of magic to get through those sort of games, and I felt like we got that. Sort of two quality strikes. And to be fair to Eastbourne, they threw everything at us a little bit. They even put a 6'8" defender, up top for the last 5 minutes. Brought him as a substitute to try and push for it. Alfie Pavey, one of our ex-players, had a good chance, which again, good save from Andre Jr. to keep it out about a couple minutes to go. And then we managed to seal the points 4 minutes into stoppage time. Keeper Joseph Wright thought he would be the sweeper keeper coming out of his box, trying to take the ball, lost control of it, and Aaron Blair had the easy chance of just passing it into an empty net to secure the points. Bit of drama at the end as well. Didn't see it because it's actually in the one area of the ground I can't see from the media gantry. So one of our players, Sam Corn, tried to win the ball back right in the corner. One of their players has clearly not like the challenge. He's thrown Sam Corn against the advertising boards, and I couldn't actually see what was going on if any cards were dished out. So if anyone from Maidstone was thinking, why did you not tweet that out? I couldn't see a thing, so it's not my fault. And there was a red card to that Eastbourne player, and it all sort of just kicked off a little bit towards the end, which was a bit of a shame because it was actually the game played in good spirits up until that point. But yeah, big 3 points, needed that, and we're sort of on the way back up now the league table a little bit. So really
what feeling? Are you in capital letters?
Do you know what? Let's have a look. Yes, we're in capital letters.
Yes, you're in capitals. That's when you know you made it.
Oh, I've never seen that sign, I think, since the first game of the season. But I'll tell you what, Tuesday's actually shown we're in a good position now because if we win our games in hand, we're back in the the playoff area. Really, I know a couple of teams above us as well have got games in hand, but all right, that's brilliant in terms of the fact that we're only be 5 points off the top as well. Not saying we're going to go on the title charge now because I think we're still too far off it at the moment. And, but then again, we're 10 league games unbeaten now since that 5-1 defeat to Chelmsford. We've really picked up and we're just grinding out results. I think it's 5 draws, 5 wins now. So, yeah, I'll tell you what, got to give the manager some credit because he is getting results again, which is the main thing. And, hopefully now we can sustain ourselves and get at least in that playoff area now. So we've got a couple of winnable games then. We've got Aveley and St Albans next, both in the bottom 4. Obviously, yeah, it won't be easy at all. They'll be well up for it. But if we can get 6 points out of that, I think we'll be back in the playoffs. So, or near at least, very close to it. So yeah, let's hope that great form continues.
I know when you carry on in capitals, maybe different colour in capitals.
I'll give it a couple of weeks. Not quite. We're getting there. We're getting there.
You never know. You are getting there. Oh, there's a lot of love in the chat as well.
Cheers,
a lot
guys.
Of love. So the National League South table. So we have Truro City, who are top on 37 points. Western-super-Mare are second, also on 37 points. Torquay United are third on 34 points. Eastbourne are fourth on 34 points. Dorking, my hero, I met him as well on Thursday. What a guy. What a guy. They are fifth on 33 points. Farnborough are sixth on 33 points. And Slough Town are seventh on 31 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Aveley, who are 21st on 14 points. St Albans City are 22nd on 12 points. Weymouth are 23rd on 12 points. And Enfield Town are bottom of National League South on 11 points. I'm just quickly going to go back to my graphics now because I've got to manoeuvre them right to the beginning. So we have the championship. So, Claire, do you know what? I'll come to you first. Any standouts on here for you or any you just want to talk about? I mean, there's a lot of draws.
There is a lot of draws.
A lot.
You can't really not. There's 2 standouts, really, for me. The first, I think, is going to be everyone's. Middlesbrough. What an away win for Middlesbrough. Like 6 goals, especially away from home. Sorry, Ant. But I think that's a fantastic result for them. I know they're doing well anyway, but and also Leeds, you've got to give them credit for that. It was right at the end as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they scored, didn't they? 90th minute as well, Swansea, and then they scored straight after it, didn't they? Leeds?
Yeah. It was. Sorry, go on.
No, sorry, no, go ahead.
Yeah, it was literally right on the 90th, and then. Yeah, it was like 1 minute later that Leeds won it. So I bet like Swansea fans were probably celebrating like they'd like won because they scored a last minute goal to equalise. Which, might I just say, when you are down until the last minute, a last minute equalising goal is a great feeling. But yeah, that's a great Leeds. But in terms of Borough, I think Michael Carrick's doing an amazing job, and he was questioned quite a lot last season. And at some points, probably fairly, but it just shows that he's learning and is progressing him, isn't he? He's doing a fantastic job, I think.
Didn't they start slow last season?
Yeah.
And then picked up and did really well. So yeah, he was a hell of a player, but yeah, he's obviously doing a good management job there.
Fisso, I didn't realise until Sam said.
Wow.
I know. Wow.
Yeah, they see something like that. To be fair, and look, they still win a big shout, of playoff place. I mean, to be fair, they're 8 points off the top 2 at the moment, which is quite a mountain to climb. But then again, like I say, they're only 17 games in. Yeah, it's a very long way to go. But if I can continue that form and that's the. I think we always say before, it doesn't matter how many goals you concede in that. It's not about keeping clean sheets; it's about scoring goals, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
You score goals, more than the other team, you end up getting promoted. And like I say, Middlesbrough can pull out, maybe not quite score 6 goals every week. Let's be honest, that's not going to happen.
Didn't they lose 1-0 yesterday?
Possibly. I haven't seen that Tuesday's results. But yeah, no, they did. Yeah,
I think they were in great form before that, though.
Is it going to be complacency though? Maybe because, like I say, if it's 15 goals in 3 games, you just think you're going to score everything that you touch, and sometimes complacency can set in, can't it? And that's why it's important as a manager to keep your players grounded, which I'm sure Michael Carrick's done. But again, the players have got to do their part as well. So they would have probably thought that's a huge points drop. But then again, Blackburn have been doing well right this season as well. So, but can we just give big mention as well to our boy Rob Edwards, big win for Luton Town. They're slightly moving up the table again, now, aren't they? I mean, obviously it's very tight. It's very tight at the bottom, to be fair. But they're only 3 points off relegation, but they've moved up to 16th now, which is that's exactly what we want to see. That's what happens when you stick by a manager, don't you? That's the thing. Stick by him time, and we'll find results in that. Don't get me wrong; they've still got a long way to go, but that's the thing, grinding out the results, especially the games they need to be winning at this stage of what the position they're in.
100%. And do you know what's really nice as well for Luton? And I don't know if it's been released yet because I've not seen it and I've been keeping my eye slightly. I was sitting on a table. We were all sitting on the table, but where I was sitting on the table last week was directly kind of behind some Luton staff, and they won an award for Club of the Year and whatever. And I've just got to say how nice it was. I was asking about Tom Lockyer because obviously he's had 2 episodes of cardiac arrest now on the pitch, and they told me that he's back in full training and he's been signed off to play football again. Now, I think when it happened for the second time, a lot of people, including myself, were like, maybe he needs to retire now, he needs to think about his own health. And for him to get himself back into the fitness of going back into full training, I just think it's an absolute credit to him because he's clearly an incredible athlete to be able to do that. And what I particularly liked from that conversation is the guy that I was talking to told me that Craig Bellamy has said that if Cardiff go to the World Cup and he's back playing, that regardless of anything, he's going to take him to the World Cup. So it's such a nice incentive for him to get back out there and do what he loves doing the most. And I think something like that is way above football generally. It's just so nice to hear that after what must have been such a traumatic time for him and his family.
Claire, who did you say are going to the World Cup?
Pardon?
Who did you say were going to the World Cup?
Wales.
No, you didn't.
Who did I say?
Cardiff.
I haven't got that. Well done, Nick.
Award-winning podcast.
Next, aren't I?
Really?
Oh, I love it.
That's what I heard anyway. Yeah. I know they play at Cardiff.
Oh my god.
You know what, though? That just shows how strong.
Can we have a quick poll in the chat? Everyone get ready. Is the 9 men or the Cardiff figure worse?
9 men.
9 men, 100%.
9 men's got to be worse. Come on, chat.
Cardiff.
That shows how strong, mentally as well, Tom Lockyer is. Because if it happens once, I wouldn't even think of twice about going on a football pitch again. I'd be like, no, that's me done. But that has happened twice to him, and he still wants to come back and play. I know it's a short career football, but you've got the rest of your life and that sort of to live. You want to see your kids grow up as well. But the fact that he still wants to play, and that shows a testament to it. But obviously, I'm sure their medical staff will be keeping a close eye on him, and also their analyst team as well over the coming weeks, whilst he's still getting back into it. But I'd love to see him back on the pitch. So let's hope that he does, and it's he can move forward now a little bit with no more issues.
Yeah, fingers crossed for him. It's just so nice to hear. So nice to hear.
Just on the weekend's games as well. Chris mentioned about Sunderland having too many draws, and then apparently over the weekend, 7 draws out of 11 games on Saturday.
Oh wow! I know Ant was telling us that they've got a few key players injured, and he actually said before the game kicked off that getting a point would be a good result for them. So he was quite happy with that point, and also it's just scraping through for them at the minute till the best players are back.
I say Millwall beaten a few of the real big top teams at home this season, haven't they? So that was never
they
going to
have.
be an easy task for them. And I think Anne said that a few of their supporters were very unhappy about it. And I think, like, for where Sunderland are at the moment, where Millwall are, I would say that's a great point away from home. Because you can't beat all the top sides. That's the thing. You're going to drop points against some of them,
Exactly.
somewhere along the way. And I think, to be fair, that's a great point. I think had that been offered to them, I would have sure they would have taken it.
Yeah.
Anyone see the ball as well? Sorry, just quick on the Coventry game. Anyone see the ball from the Coventry game? That was quite worth the watch, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think they're getting charged as well. Both cars for failing to control their players. So that's welcome to Coventry, Frank Lampard. Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously it was quite a melee because that's the thing. When you're stuck on a coach on the way back from Salisbury, you had nothing else to watch but the Coventry game. So when players are fighting, you want to watch it. But I thought that was good quality, and maybe let's see the real passion for football again at that level.
Yeah.
Speaking of passion as well, this comment made me laugh from Luke talking about and loved his celebration on the stage at the FCR made me smile.
That was so funny. Like, none of us really realised too much at the point. Like, we looked around and saw him celebrating on the stage, but I don't know why. Like, he must have just been too excited. He ran off the other direction to the way we were going.
Yeah.
So.
We thought that was the way we had to go on.
No, bless him.
None of us could believe it.
Just before as well, we go on to the midweek fixtures. We've had 3 votes so far, and they have all gone for the 9 men comment.
I've turned off the comments. I'm not reading them anymore.
I say as well, before we do move on, that Mr. Luke, Ant will absolutely belt you for putting a H in his name. He always goes, it's Anthony, not Anthony.
It's like when he puts I in your name, Claire, doesn't it?
Yeah, little shit. He deserves it. Ha ha.
Uncle Nick, I'll come to you first. Obviously, the midweek fixtures. I think I've got them all right. I don't know. I might have made them up, but is there any standouts for you on here?
Well, I guess any team again that scores 6. I mean, poor old Plymouth. He's going to have a bit of a tough time, isn't he? Or my man Rooney, which I thought he would do quite well, but he seems to be struggling again. And oh dear, Oxford got beat again. Another 3 goals. Oh. There is light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh no,
Nick.
Well, who commented on the chat the other day that Tim, who comes on there and again says, Nick might say something nice about Oxford.
Yes.
On the podcast. I said, well, I have done in the past, but I'm afraid the last 2 results, there ain't much nice you can say.
What about what happened at Portsmouth as well? Because it was so close to
you ran out of luck,
Yeah.
But I watched the announcement before, and like all the fans in the ground. I mean, I know you can't help power issues like that. They happen, I suppose, but
tell me about it. My light blew up.
I think I just feel really sorry for the travelling fans. You never like to really see that happening when you're, when you're travelling away. And I know from experience when we played Torquay and it got postponed as the players were coming out on the pitch. That's the closest I've ever had to that. It was really annoying. So hats off to the fans that go back again for attempt to.
Graham's put as well, Portsmouth had quite the weekend. Game called off late at Blackburn Saturday and game abandoned last night.
Mm.
And that's not what you need when you're bottom of the table at the moment.
No.
I know.
Not at all.
Just on the Burnley Cov game at the top as well, Simon has put Burnley Cov was great until the 47th minute when Burnley scored their first goal. And then Aled has put, I hope Lampard proves me wrong, but don't think it's a good appointment and they should have stayed with Robbins. What do we all think on the Frank Lampard appointment?
I agree with that. I don't think they should have sacked Robbins at all.
Don't get me wrong.
Should have stuck with him.
Yeah, I do think they should have stuck with him, but I think it's a good appointment personally because look,
because you love Frank Lampard.
No, it's not because I love Frank Lampard. All right, so hear me out. Look,
that's like me saying Mason Mount should be United's manager or our manager.
To be fair, like, look, he's had more experience in the Premier League as a manager now rather than the Championship. But his one season in the Championship, he did get Derby promoted. We've got to remember that.
Yeah.
And no one fancied Derby that year. They had a good young squad of players, including obviously the likes of Mason Mount. I didn't know Aston Villa they were up against in the final. I think they would have gone up that year because Aston Villa were basically, everyone said they'll go straight back up. But I think it's a good appointment personally for what they needed right now. Obviously, time will tell to see if the results come for them. But maybe for the position they're in, I don't think it's a bad point. But don't get me wrong, I totally still want Mark Robbins. I think they still should have stuck with him. But yeah, it's a cracking appointment for that level for them. And these managers it's been in Champions League games, that sort of thing, so they can bring all that experience to cut to a side like Coventry. And I hope personally, from my perspective, because I'm a big Frank fan, I hope they push up the table again. So we'll see. Super Frank, come on, man.
Yeah. What a player he was. What a player.
I'm just gutted we didn't get it wasn't last year because I would have got to meet him. I'm so gutted about that. But why couldn't they sack Mark Robbins last year?
I don't think he's going to be successful there, just saying.
Ooh.
Time will tell.
Yeah, time will tell.
Graham has put this as well. Is this Lampard's last chance at a managerial job if it doesn't go well?
Probably not, because he's got a reputation. Like Wayne Rooney keeps blagging his way into jobs, doesn't he, just because of his name?
You do find that Premier League footballers do tend to just weave their way into management jobs, don't you? That's the thing. It's very hard for sort of the up and coming better coaches and that to come straight through because it's a name. Think, they're going to do well. Look at Steven Gerrard. He hasn't exactly done masses of as a manager, has he? Especially in the Premier League. So, yeah.
Just on the Wayne Rooney situation as well, though, aren't the fans more disappointed with the board because haven't they not really put much money into it or something? And aren't they on the lowest budget in the Championship?
Yeah, I think they are.
Fair to Wayne Rooney,
but they always have quite a low budget though, don't they? I mean, they're known for it because they like to be a sustainable club, which I absolutely admire.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just for the Championship. It's just not quite. Obviously, they kind of punching, aren't they? To be fair,
that's such a tough league.
Of course.
That league, you look at the teams that are in it. Not so long ago were Prem sides. That is probably the hardest league out of the lot. And if you can see with the teams that are floating around the top, that is tough, really tough.
Yeah.
They're a small fish in a big pond in that league. Let's be honest. United are probably the two smallest clubs in that division. So, sorry.
Them and who?
Oxford United. Bear in mind they're two of the smallest in fan base as well, probably smaller. But yeah, look, I think their aim was to just stay in that division, isn't it?
That's what I was laughing at. I apologise.
Okay.
So in the chat, Sam put a tough mum for our Rooney, struggling to defend, and his wife polishing off kangaroo testicles in the jungle.
Do you know what? I must say, I know it's a football podcast. I absolutely love I'm a Celeb. And I've got to say, I have been impressed with her. I think she's really classy. She's
like me, classy.
Yeah.
Bad is piss off now. Stupid Rebecca Bad.
I don't watch it. It's just
I haven't had time to watch it this year, to be fair, because we keep having Tuesday games and all that sort of thing, and it keeps getting in the way.
So you could watch it on the coach. You've got 5 hours.
Yeah, that's only 5 hours where I could be sleeping because I got to work in the morning. Rather than knowing who's having the kangaroo testicles.
Simon has put Lampard got Derby to a playoff final, got Chelsea into top 4 with a transfer embargo, and Everton is a basket case where even Ancelotti struggled at.
Oh, is that a Coventry fan? Of course he's going to be picking him up when it's just like joined him. Come on.
I thought you was actually taking me because yes, Simon's Coventry. Do you not know?
Because that's the thing, people forget about that first stint he had at Chelsea. You know, we did get him into top 4 with what obviously don't get me wrong, they still had world-class players in there, but they couldn't buy anyone and they still got in the top 4. So, and that's the thing, he built that side that got Chelsea into winning the Champions League. Although it wasn't him that was the manager on the day, but he built that side. So it just needed good coaching really to execute it. So obviously he's going to have the budget, I think, at Coventry by the looks of it. So it's a case of what can he do in the January transfer window to push him up the table again.
Yeah. Hi.
I can't even remember who I've asked for this slide. So is there any standouts for anyone? Because I can't remember who I've asked and who I've not asked, or if I've asked anyone.
I think we've just generally discussed it, haven't we?
Yeah.
Pretty
I mean,
straightforward.
Leeds as well. They are climbing up that table now, aren't they? I mean, Luton. Had to be Luton.
Good win for QPR actually as well at Cardiff City, because
Yes.
that was much needed for them, because had Cardiff won that, they would have really opened up the gap at the bottom 3. So yeah, they've needed that really. I think they're only a couple of points off now, so let's hope then that they'll be hoping they can build a little bit of a run together just to get away from it. So yeah, I'll be interested to see now if they can follow that up with a win on Saturday.
Tell you who's doing well as well. Tom Cleverley at Watford. I mean, they're managing to get results, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they'd already be sacked in a year's time. So when they get from good job,
Graham has put Sunderland have mad fixtures this week. Play Saturday, Tuesday, and play again this Friday. Like a Craig Davies song.
The fixture congestion, I think, is worse in non-league than that, because like for some reason, Kers and Ashton play their midweek games on a Monday instead of a Tuesday.
Dorking didn't they?
We've got to go to Avery on Monday, and they play on a Monday.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it's around like the Christmas, New Year period. They always seem to have more games than everyone. I remember that from when we were in that league. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's the thing. I feel it's just been games non-stop. I think I've had midweek games for the last 3-4 weeks now. So it's just like, it gets a bit like, after a while. So yeah, I totally agree with that. Especially when the National Leagues North and South now have 46 games in a season. There's so much more.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Don't really start, because I'm going to start getting onto those FA Cup replays again. I'm not going to do that.
Any other standouts before we move on? Anybody? No. Sheffield United as well. Are they now top? Let me have a quick look. I think they are. Right? Oh, no, they're not. Leeds are their second. But look at that. How close is it?
Sheffield United are a weird one, though, aren't they? You think, how do they, it's a bit like the old Norwich City used to be, wouldn't it? Go straight back up and then, go straight back down. Yo-yo club, and that's the thing. But when they get close to the Premier League, they don't compete. So it's like, how can they? They're a top-tier Championship side, but very low Premier League side. It's finding that gap. It's really, interesting. But again, it all comes down to money, doesn't it? So, but yeah, if they managed to put it off, having started with -2 points, then they're, you've got to give a massive credit to Chris Wilder and his team.
Yeah. I just wanted, before I do the table as well, it is confirmed. We have Sam in our chat. Ruben Amorim has got his first win as Manchester United manager. Giving a shout out because obviously, as I mentioned, we love our Sam. I know he'll be happy. He deserves some happiness.
United.
But something he won't be happy about. Top of the Championship table, Leeds United on 35 points. Sheffield United are second on 35 points. And then we have 1 minute, my screen's. There we go. I had a mark on my screen, so I didn't know if it were a 5 or a 3. Third, we have Burnley on 33 points. Sunderland are fourth on 33 points. Watford are fifth on 29 points. As I mentioned, they're going around the business quite well at the minute, aren't they, Watford? But in and around, so very good for Tom Cleverley. Sixth and Middlesbrough, obviously on 27 points. We did mention how well Michael Carrick is doing. And then in the relegation zone, we have Hull City, who were 22nd on 15 points. QPR are 23rd on 14 points. And Portsmouth are bottom of the championship table. But we do have those 2 games in hand, obviously, on 12 points. So let me have a quick look in the chat. So Graham has put, don't ask Nick if it was a 5 or a 3, Shah. And then we have Sammy's put, who's 12th in the Europa League? Woo! And then Simon has put, they don't spend the money needed to stay in the Prem. That's why they constantly yo-yo between the leagues. That's about Sheffield United. But yeah, League One. Do you want to talk to us, Claire?
Yeah, but before we talk football,
Go on.
Today, Bristol Rovers have released a statement saying that their manager, Matt Taylor, is taking a leave of absence due to a family emergency. And I know, like, we all think the same. We just want to wish him and his family well at what must be a really difficult time. I know a lot of people are not too happy with what he's doing managerial wise, but it was really nice to see the comments on that post where they were all saying, you know what, we're really, really supporting through this stage and we hope everything's okay. And it just shows that people know that it's just a job and some things are more important than that. So all the best to them all.
Completely agree with that.
But yeah, I can talk Stockport.
Go on, girl.
So firstly, I just want to say it again, like I said at the time that when we were beaten 5-0 by Wickham, that I thought they were a really good team, but that I felt like it was a freak result. And by that, I mean, you're not going to get battered 5-0 every week. But it can do one of two things. It can either make you go on a pretty poor spell of results, or it can kick you up the arse. And for us, it's really kicked us up the arse because since that defeat...
Another Claire quote. Claire's quote book.
But since that defeat, like we've... you know, I don't really care about that Pizza Cup game, but we've scored like 9 goals in 3 games and conceded none whatsoever. I mean, Pizza Cup aside, but who cares about that because we were already through anyway. But we beat Barnet.
Burton. Is it Burton?
We beat Burton 3-0 on Saturday. And have you all seen Louis Barry's goal? Because I definitely put it in the chat.
It's in it.
Yeah.
Quality goal.
You didn't do it again.
Is he going to be with you for the
Because
season?
we just keep waiting, don't we? We keep delaying it.
I know.
Hold on a minute. Da, 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 da.
Louis Barry.
Da, 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 da.
Louis Barry.
And I
Thank
say
you.
it all the time. I do say it all the time. Absolutely love the kid, and I'm just so happy that he's happy. In answer to the question about whether or not he'll be with us for the season, who knows? And I think for myself, it's just enjoy him while we've got him. I think it's really, really important to just, and he's staying humble.
He's Haaland.
It's just what we've got in our favour as well is that he absolutely loves our football club. His family love our football club. And it's just one of those where, like, as soon as he knew at the beginning of in pre-season that he was going out, he wanted to go to Stockport and he turned down some championship teams. For me, I think it was good progression because obviously he'd gone from not really having many good loan spells or to them being indifferent. But he really, really obviously had a good season for us last year until he got injured, and then he came back and he still looked bright. He just took the league by storm, in my opinion, this year.
Can't concentrate on your screen going like...
I know it's mad, isn't it?
Sorry. It's just making me laugh. I was like...
Why does it do that?
I feel like I'm on a roller coaster with you.
I know, it's crazy.
I'm getting motion sickness.
He's clearly taking the league by storm and just enjoying his football. So that definitely should count in our favour as well. I think we have to just wait and see what happens with him. And you know what? If he does move up, then I'll wish him all the best, because you can't not. He's done so well for us. My only concern would be who we get in his place. But having said that, don't know if you've seen the rumours this week. We're rumoured to be in talks with a team in Iceland about signing Benoni Brecky. Don't brecky my heart. Gotta be done on it. So he seemed to be a bit of a wonder kid.
Do that again.
No.
Go on, because then if you sign him, every time he scores, they can go, don't break him my heart.
My achy breaky heart.
Oh, stop.
Anyway, it's really, really, really highly rated. He's absolutely smashing the league in Iceland. Got some incredible stats, and he's like 19 or something like that. He went off to Bologna at some point and has just recently gone back to them. But yeah, apparently he's like,
it's gonna break your hearts. Whoever you play, he's gonna break you some heart.
He might break your heart. He won't break you my heart.
He's only gonna break your heart.
So you know what I mean, I think in Iceland there was reports about it as well, and they were saying, you know what, we are in talks with Stockport, but no bid's been accepted yet. So I don't know if that's something that potentially they're going to look at for January. Obviously we've got money, we can spend money, but yeah, 3-0 on Saturday, very, very good result. 3 clean sheets in a row since Ben's come back into the team. So let's leave Ben in goal. Super Benny Hinchcliffe. Hinchcliffe in the middle of our goal.
You better sign his player now.
Pardon?
You better sign Brecky now.
I know, Brecky. The other thing to say, Lewis Bate got our other goal, signed him from Leeds in the summer where he was released, and he is absolutely mustard, and he's going under the radar because of Louis Barry's stats, but he's our captain, and he is just getting better every single week. And some of his performances, some of his passes, the way he breaks up play in the middle of that park, he is going to be some player for us. I just love League One. I love that we're doing well.
And you're breaking hearts.
You lot can't go up again, surely. That's the thing. Do you start to think though that you can do it? Do you start to believe a bit now?
I wouldn't say like I think we're going to go up, but I think we're going to be up there challenging. I don't know. I've said it before. I don't know if maybe you can go a bit too fast at stuff. Like I don't know if we went up, if it would be a bit too soon. And I know, do you know, at the end of the day, Ben, it's the club's aim. Our owner wants us in the Championship, and he wants us there by like 2027. So effectively, we're a year or so ahead. What the hell? We're a year or so ahead of like the plan. So I think what is happening? Why does it do this? Random as well, isn't it? It's just when I'm talking. Yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. And if we go up, obviously I'll be happy. But if we don't go up, then I won't be disappointed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, sure, the aim is probably to consolidate first. That's the thing. Because when you go into a new division, the main thing is stay up first.
The thing is as well, the ground. I mean, I know obviously the ground is sufficient for the Championship, but it'd be tiny, especially when the work starts on the ground. Because you've got to think, for a season at least, the railway end's got to be, well, not a season at least. I think it's for part of a season or something. The railway end, it might even be a full season. The railway end is going to be out of bounds while they're renovating it. So I think having 3 stands in the Championship with quite a small attendance would probably not be the best.
What works for Oxford United though, doesn't it? So I think you'd be all right.
Well, yeah. Well, teams are crying because we only give 800 to the away fans. 880, I think. Thanks, Graham.
I know. Love that.
You'll be shocked about my standout this week as well.
Go on.
Right. I'm not even saying this, taking the mick. And sometimes I think a lot of people don't give them credit because of what they've got. But I want to just shout out Wrexham. It was another solid win. Obviously, I know that in terms of Exeter, they've not been doing too well in the last few games. But Wrexham, I think they've just taken League One by storm. And you can't argue with the fact that they're doing so well. They already had a good squad and they've improved it where they've needed to. But I think for them to be up in second, doing really well, and when they've lost, I mean, they lost obviously to us, but they're losing by fine margins. And I just think that it absolutely would not surprise me one bit if they went back to back to back with their promotions. I just think they're doing so well. And I have to give them credit. There you go. Said it what I said, Aled.
When's the last time that ever happened in the Football League? That can't have happened very often. If they do manage to do back to back to back, I can't think of any other team that's ever done that before. So
Southampton.
Swansea did quite a few seasons ago. They went from when it was Division 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they went from 4th up to the 1st division, and then straight back down, right back to the 4th division. They were right up, and then the following 4 seasons they were relegated each season.
No way.
Yeah, sure, Swansea did that.
Sounds like a scum for that.
Did Southampton get a couple of promotions in a row when obviously we dropped down?
I think teams have done 2, but I think it's not super rare to get through.
Teams done 2, well, yeah. So obviously Wrexham have done that, haven't they, the last 2 seasons, haven't they, with National League and League 2? So it's things that it shows that the level's getting harder. That's the thing. But if they do manage to do that, fair play to. I know, obviously, like you say, your owners want yourselves in the Championship, Claire. But I think the owners at Wrexham have made it very clear they want to be in the Premier League in maybe 10 years time, with the Championship in 10 years time. In fact, they're well ahead of schedule at the moment.
I do wonder about that as well, though, in terms of affordability, because I don't want to sound like a knob. Our owner is actually richer than Robin Ryan. So if he's saying he can't afford to take us back past the Championship, how can Robin Ryan afford it? I just wonder if it's going to get to a point where they need more investment. And I'm not saying this as criticism. I just wonder if there's a plan for what they do when they get to the Championship, how they get the money to keep on progressing, because obviously they want to keep fucking hell.
Progressing.
Yeah.
I think they have actually admitted to that as well, saying that if they did, they could probably get them as far as the Championship, but then I think they'd need more investment, because you see the amount of money thrown around at that level now.
Yeah.
I think to be honest, they would not underestimate that level, because I think, to be fair, they're probably finding out now the budgets of this year, now having the likes of Birmingham City in there, they're probably thinking, right, this is proper, they're on our level now. If not, they're probably richer than us. So, but then again, you can only do what beat what's in front of you, and the fact that they're sticking second at the moment, after playing non-league less than 2 years ago, you've got to give them the credit to have money or not, because it's how you follow it up. You can have all the money you want, but you've got to do it on the pitch. And to be fair, they are doing it on the pitch. So Phil Parkinson's potentially on for a back-to-back, but so still very long way to go yet. So
I've given Phil Parkinson a lot of stick in the past. But clearly he's experienced, so he knows what he's doing, so fair play to him. And no, I've not taken anything. I am actually giving him praise, because it's praise where praise is due.
I will just go to the chat for a quick minute. Chris has said his standout was Shrewsbury at home to Birmingham.
Did you see the stats on that game, by the way? Because Shrewsbury had something like 20% possession, and it just goes back to that old saying that Uncle Nick loves. There's only one stat that matters.
Exactly.
Well, that's Gareth Ainsworth, their manager now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Good manager.
Oh yeah, did you see him at the end going round? Proper Garrett a lot. He was having the best time, wasn't he?
Yeah, fair play to him.
Sean has put Reading are on a roll, so they beat Peterborough 2-1. And do you know what? A year ago today, it came up on my Facebook memories, was the first time Kean Hayes went back to Fleetwood, and Anne did that song. It came up on my memory, so I just thought I would share that with you all. A year ago today was my heartbreak. So yeah, that made me laugh. Chris has put Wickham on fire. And then we have Graham, obviously our Charlton fan. So he has put, and he's even done it in my accent, Huddersfield. Huddersfield away. Poor performance. Can't defend. Crap result. This team depresses me. Hate being stuck in League One. Purgatory. And I just wanted to say as well, Graham, Aaron Henry, who we have on loan from you, I think he's gone back at the minute. He's got a long-term injury. He's broken his foot. So I'm really gutted about that. I love Aaron Henry. He's been brilliant for us this season. And I just wanted to give you a quick update because I don't know if you have obviously heard about that. But I'm gutted. Aled as well has put, obviously, about the Wrexham game. It was a great performance against Exeter. Was expecting a tougher game considering before kickoff, Exeter had conceded one less than us and the least in the division. So scoring free mean my opinion.
What?
Is there a correction?
Oh, it's a beat.
There. Yeah. A majority of our wins have been when we have had low possession when away from home. Luke is taking a mick out of me. Them 3 points are great though, Luke. Thank you for them. You keep taking a mick. I'm only joking. But yeah, Huddersfield, Barnsley and Bolton, just for anybody who wants to hear them again. And he's put about Aaron Henry. He's a great young player. Gutted for him. Wish him a speedy recovery. Is there any standouts for anyone, obviously, on this one before we go to the midweek fixtures?
Good win for Wigan. Barnsley, actually, to be fair.
Yeah.
Barnsley are not doing that well.
Well, they're in the playoffs at the moment.
Yeah, but they've had a bit of a bad... If you see their fans are not happy with the way that they're playing, and they're kind of like stumbling a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I only say that because obviously Wigan they've struggled scoring. I mean, to be fair, defensively they've been okay this season, but their trouble is they're not scoring enough goals. And I think, to be fair, you can win leagues and that by getting 1-0s all the time. That's the thing. Like, look at what is it the old saying? Now 1-0 to the Arsenal. That's the thing. Like, that's the way it works. It doesn't matter how you get the results. Like, even if you're not scoring enough goals, teams get promoted by not scoring a lot of goals, but keeping plenty out of the back. So. Yeah, I think that's a good win for the Wickham, and they needed that as well because they've been really struggling recently, just above the bottom four. So it moves them away from it a little bit.
Talking about that, Steve Evans struggling. It just, for me, brings up another subject, and probably Ben might want to talk about it a bit more than me.
But I think I know what you're going towards.
Yeah, the situation that was brought out this week about forgot his name. How forgot his Foul. And what Crawley have done. So I don't know. You might want to discuss it a bit, Ben.
Yeah. I mean, so the Athletic did an article with Mo because obviously he got released from Crawley about a couple of months ago now. So obviously now he's at Worthing. So this is obviously from the tweet that the lower tier did. So they put his arrival was announced by the club on the 22nd of July this year on social media, but has since moved on after not making a single appearance. So he was falsely told by the club that he'd failed his medical, which they later claimed was a miscommunication. The club told him that he wouldn't be able to negotiate a contract deemed invalid by the EFL. The club subsequently refused to alter the terms of the contract to meet EFL regulations, and then Crawley wrongly claimed on social media that he joined another club for a transfer fee. I think that's absolutely shocking, to be honest with you. You know, he's a player that, you know, someone that I know really well as well. He was a great lad with us last year. Such a good man. You know, so humble, and to have been. I mean, I don't think, you know, it shouldn't happen to any player, obviously, but when it happens to someone that you know, it's like it hurts a bit, because you know how. I mean, I know how hard he's worked to get back to that level, and obviously it didn't last for him very long, and now he's back playing National South football. So I do feel really sorry.
And I don't mean it to sound funny, but I'm not surprised with this bloody Wagme. Like, they've just been a bit ridiculous all the way through, and it's a disgraceful way to treat a human being. Do you think that they thought they'd sign the other Mo Fowl?
I don't know if they'd probably thought it like that, to be fair, because they must have had scouts out, to be fair. And his goal scoring record's always been good in non-league football, to be fair. So, I mean, he got about 15 goals last year. I mean, it's not quite what he normally gets. He normally gets about 25, to be fair. But, you know, I don't know. You'd like to think that, I mean, to be fair, when I saw Mo Farwood sign for Wrexham, I was like, well, that is an arm Mo Farwood. And I didn't realise there was another one. So, yeah, it would have been interesting to see what goes. Because that's the thing, you never know what goes on behind closed doors like that. And you know, for Crawley, it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. But even then, the fact is, they never gave him a chance. They played him through pre-season, but never actually gave him a chance to show what he's all about. So I feel really sorry for him. But, you know, do you know what? He's responding the best way possible, because every week I seem to see that he's scoring goals for Worthing. I think he's got 10 already this season for them. So, you know, I'm really pleased for him. He's a great lad. So, yeah, no, shameful from Crawley. Hope the owners are, you know, hanging their heads in shame over that.
And good on him for talking about it as well, because that can't happen. It's just not on.
Yeah, definitely. Couldn't agree more.
So unfair, that. Disgraceful. So we have got Sean's match report from the Northampton game. I did send my match reports in earlier. We turned up to the grounds, kicked a ball, and then went home. Job done. Love that. Love that.
Oh,
I love that.
I think Danny said on our chat that it was one of the worst games this season.
It did. Alad has put as well, in regards to the funding from Claire, it seems like we have had an outside source having a share into the club. Apparently, Allen family are well respected in America.
Oh, okay.
And then
Lucas it said that Wrexham sold some shares to bring extra money in. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah. So yeah, there is extra money coming into the club from other sources than the two Robs.
Lucas put as well, great win for Rob Elliott against Huddersfield. Any more standouts before we move on? I mean, Bolton won. Beat Blackpool, a derby, local game.
That is a good win, though, all jokes aside, because Bolton got battered a couple of weeks ago by us. And I think the form has been a little bit indifferent, hasn't it? For quite a long time now, they've been saying they want Ian Everett out. But it was a good solid win as well. But it was a late win in like the 94th minute or something like that. So to win a derby late on. But you've got to worry about their form, because I think in midweek they only got a draw against Cambridge.
Have a quick look.
So I think they've lost a couple of league matches, then drawn a couple. I think the form is just all over the place.
Yeah. Any standouts on this one for you, Uncle Nick, from midweek?
Just Wycombe Wanderers going from strength to strength.
Yeah.
They can't seem to do anything wrong. So yeah, they're obviously on a hell of a roll. And I guess Birmingham City coming back in getting an away victory after a defeat, which is what you want to see. You know, you lose a game, the next one you want to get 3 points on the board. So you got to say,
definitely,
you know, like them or not, fair play to them for getting a result on a trip down to Exeter.
And 100%. I think that is definitely a good one at Exeter. Wycombe, like you say, they're surprising quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
And again, it was a late goal as well, like 93rd minute or something like that, I think.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah.
His cross to the far post.
Yeah. But I think it's one of them for them, because you know how many times the teams do that and it doesn't go in.
Yeah.
But I just think when you're
when
doing
it's going
well,
for you.
yeah, exactly. When things are going your way, that it's the fine margins, it's that kind of thing that goes your way. But fair play to him. So I don't think. I mean, I think they're a solid team, but I don't think anyone would have expected them to be up there even at this point. So,
No.
Fair play to them, because they're doing bits, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they don't have a fantastically high budget either. So I think they're definitely punching up there, but they've earned it.
Any others for anyone? I know Chris has mentioned the top one. So Barnsley versus Reading.
I think it's a really good away win for Blackpool, actually, at Bristol Rovers, because Blackpool have been struggling a bit lately. So, good win for Steve Bruce there.
Definitely. As well, Graham, he's put, obviously, Charlton did win away at Burton Albion, quite possibly the worst game of football I've ever seen in my life. And that's with us winning. It was so bad. I can't even celebrate it. A win is a win at the end of the day, though. Have Burton actually got a manager now? Because they were linked with Jim McNulty. Obviously, Jim McNulty's going, but I've not actually seen them appoint anyone yet, unless I missed it.
I think they have.
I'm not too sure.
Sure they have. But just saying about that, though, beggars can't be choosers. You can't not celebrate just because you didn't play very well, because let's be honest, if you go and get promoted, do you really remember when you didn't play well, or do you just remember that you won?
Yeah. Actually, I could have told you so many times, like last year with us, things like, we didn't play well in a lot of games last year, but we still grind the results. And I actually only remember that, we won, we scored that goal. I don't actually remember how well we played. That's the thing. I'd love to be winning games 1-0 and not playing well, because that's always a sign of a good team, in my opinion.
Exactly. No, they've not appointed a manager yet.
No, still the interim. Yeah. I'm just going to do the League One table now, because I do want to spend some time, obviously, about Swindon and talking to Uncle Nick. So we'll quickly fly through this. So the top, we do have Wycombe Wanderers on 38 points. Wrexham a second on 34 points. Birmingham a third on 33 points. I have the urge to do it in an Irish accent every time. 33 is there. I don't know why. Yeah. Stockport County a fourth on 30 points. Huddersfield Town a fifth on 29 points. Barnsley a sixth on 27 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Leyton Orient, who were 21st on 15 points. Cambridge United are 22nd on 13 points. Shrewsbury Town are 23rd on 11 points. And Burton Albion are bottom of the League One table on 8 points. Graham has mentioned as well, I'll happily celebrate us winning when not playing well, but I just want to erase Tuesday from my memory. It was really that bad. And then he's put back in capitals, though. I'm just going to really quickly, what we'll do, we'll mention any standout results from the next couple of slides, and then we will get into all the Swindon talk, because I do want to obviously spend a lot of time on it. So I'll come to you first, Uncle Nick. Any standouts on here for you? And I know there was a Monday night game as well. I think it was Crewe, and it was a 1-1 draw. I have forgot them off here, so I do apologise.
Yeah, I think Crewe got a very late equaliser in that one.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I mean, apart from our game, there weren't many goals about. So,
no.
The weather, obviously across the country, was just atrocious. I mean, for us in the second half, their keeper couldn't even get it much between sort of the 18-yard box and the halfway line. The ball was just going straight up in the air. It was absolutely terrible conditions, and I guess probably that's what it was like a lot of those games, with the very low, with the 1-0s and the 0-0s. So and I guess Harrogate getting a 2-1 at Gillingham, that is a very good result for them, very good. But yeah, apart from that, there's not really much else to talk about apart from our debacle.
I'm going to say there's a lot of boring games, isn't there? Obviously, Cheltenham beat Tranmere, Colchester beat Grimsby, Notts County, Newport County 0-0. Yeah, AFC Wimbledon 0, Walsall 1,
Actually, that's a
Carlisle
good result
United.
for Walsall because
Very good.
Wimbledon are decent. And I think Walsall, I will see the league in a minute, but they're right up there as well. So they're doing well this season, which is quite a surprise to me. Although I think when they come to us, they said it's the best side that we played this season.
And then midweek games, there was only the two. So obviously Tranmere 0, AFC Wimbledon 2, and Walsall 2, Bromley 2. I'll quickly get onto the table, Uncle Nick, and then we'll talk Swindon if you want to talk about the game and then everything that's going on. So I'm really sorry. It's a bit of a quick one, isn't it, for League 2 at the minute? But there weren't many games. But yeah, Port Vale are top of the table with 34 points. Walsall are second with 31 points. Crewe Alexandra are third with 29 points. Doncaster Rovers are fourth with 29 points. Notts County are fifth with 28 points. Milton Keynes Dons are sixth on 27 points. AFC Wimbledon are seventh on 26 points. And then in the relegation zone, we have Morecambe, who are 23rd with 13 points, and Carlisle bottom with 13 points. So I will come to you now, Uncle Nick. Talk to us about Swindon.
Oh, the game. Just very quickly on the game. I think it's probably one of the worst games I've ever watched. I mean, we had the opportunity to pull away just a tiny bit from the bottom two. We were 2 goals down after I think 11 minutes, and just defensively, we were poor. We did put it back to 2 each, but even then, it was like, yeah, we really ain't going to do anything. And we lost the 3rd goal. And they were far the better side, played far more football than we did. It was absolutely clueless. And then on the way to the ground, there's a statue been unveiled of Don Rogers, who is obviously from our League Cup winning side, 69, Town's greatest player. And the statue itself, it's been done by the Swindon Town Trust. It is absolutely brilliant, because a lot of these times you see a statue and they look terrible. But whoever is sculptured that, it must be really highly regarded, because it was brilliant. In around the plinth, it's got the details about the game, the team, about Don Rogers and that, and they've done a super job on that. So so that was a positive before the game. The game itself, as I say, was just diabolical. And this is the thing that's happened. It's caused. It is the thing that's ignited a fans group. They did a right. The trust provided the club with a write-up on the 69 side. Winning the League Cup, biggest ever thing in our history. And that's when the League Cup was played with teams putting out first teams. We beat Arsenal in the final, and they had their top team out. There was no reserves or anything. So to do that back then, as a 3rd division side against the 1st division, was brilliant. And what did the club do? They put a picture of the players celebrating the 1967 QPR team winning the cup. They couldn't even get the picture of our team in the program. It just finished me. It just breaks you, absolutely breaks you. It's so unprofessional. And then from that, this is what started. A group's been set up called the Spirit of 69. The primary man is Dan Hunt, and you've got Terry Pierce and Rich Pullin, who are involved with Loathe Strangers podcast. And basically what they've said is, their statement is, Clem Milfoy has consistently proven over the last 3 years he's not capable of running a football club. The Spirit of 69 have said in an online post, we will not rest until he publicly invites interest of acquisition from those who may be interested. We're committed to a program of online and offline actions to create noise and pressure on the ownership, and working hard behind the scenes ahead of our first day of action against Grimsby on December the 21st. The group stressed that the protest will be peaceful, non-obstructive, and outside the 90 minutes of the game. So they're doing it in the right way. They've launched today. If you see my updated profile picture, it's everything around orange. A few years ago, there was a protest and everybody was wearing orange hats. They're using the orange colour. They've got, in a very few days, I think today, they put out the orange hats with the image on it. In the last count I saw, they were selling more than one a minute. And I think they must be probably up to 150 within a few hours that have been sold to support the club or the protest. They're also going to be giving away free orange hats without the logo on it. They're planning TIFOs protests. They're getting volunteers for stewards. They're liaising with the police. And they're going to do everything properly, which is some said, well, why are we waiting until the 21st? Because they said, we want to get it right. It's going to be a properly organised protest. Now, for weeks and weeks, lots of different groups and people have said, something needs to happen. We can't go on like this. And it's sort of been a bit fragmented. But now there's an actual group that are going to run this very professionally. People know what they're doing. And it's and I can see there being hundreds of people outside the county ground beforehand. There's a big, if you've been to the county ground, there's a big grass area outside the Don Rogers stand, and that's where the statue is, and that's obviously going to be the meeting point where everybody gets together, and then the protest will run from there. So it's got momentum, and the other things that have happened since then, the head of football's gone. He's gone to Salford, surprisingly. The media manager has left the club of his decision, apparently. But I'll be surprised if it is. So there's other changes gone on. So yeah, there is going to be a big, a big rally of people, and I'm sure it is going to be probably as big a protest movement that Swindon has seen for a long time since other things that happened in the past. So, we're equal bottom of the whole football league, and no club's got a right to be in any league. You've got to earn it. But for a club the size of Swindon and the crowds that we can generate with a successful team, we shouldn't be anywhere near that. And as I say, you've got to earn it, and the league table doesn't lie. We've won 2 games all season. It's one at home. We were 1 home game and 1 away game. In by anybody's reckon, that's not good enough.
No.
We brought Ian Holloway in. He's trying to do his best and forget all the nonsense about the other things that come out of it. I think football wise, he's working the team hard. We've seen stuff on there that apparently one of the groundsmen at our training ground said previously the players would go early afternoon. He's keeping them on later, training them, pushing it, trying to get the fitness up. And I think he's realised that the players we've got aren't good enough. So what will happen in January will probably be the defining action of the season. And whether players move out and we can bring in, we've got 5 loanee players, and I think only one since Holloway's been there, 1 or 2 are playing. So he's not convinced by them. So we're likely we could have a complete changeover, get rid of the 5 loanees and probably bring 5 in that he wants. He's also will be responsible for the recruitment because the head of football's gone, who did all the recruitment. And I say that the players we brought in, on paper, it looked going to be really good. We were crying out for 3 big centre halves because defensively last season we were poor. We've got the 3 big centre halves we wanted, but we ain't any better this season. So there's a lot to do. But the main thing is what the Spirit of 69 want. They want Clem to sell up, to go. And and get people that know how to run a football club, because he's not capable. Plus he's in Australia. He's got a CEO who had no football experience. And if you've got the owner who's not there day by day, you want the CEO to be, top of the table.
Yeah.
To be able to run the club. Well, the owner's not there. He's come from one of Clem's companies, a building company with no football experience. So,
how is it allowed, man?
Well, I suppose once the chairman or the owner has passed all the requisite tests, he as employees, I guess he can employ anybody. They don't take a fit and proper test, do they? So, unless they're going in to become a board member, and there's other characters around the club that aren't officially running the club, but we all know they are, and that's the bigger problem. So, hopefully this group will grow and grow and grow. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out, and it'll be putting pressure on Clem all the way through until he agrees to sell. So that's where we are, and it had to happen. It's sad that it does, but it is the only thing that could happen, and it's good that these guys have pulled together different sectors of fans,
100%
under one umbrella. Fools had a guest list on Tuesday. They did a special with people that have got a vested interest in this, who've tried to set up groups. It's quite interesting. I think most of the people on that panel, not all of them, have either been banned by the club or put themselves on a self-imposed ban. They're not going to go anymore. So, and that's the feeling of a lot of people who won't put money into the club. I don't want to put money into the club.
No.
But as I've said on here numerous times,
yeah,
the only reason I went Saturday was because my lad wanted to go, and we spend time together at football. And it's really difficult. What's the best way? I won't go to another game until the protest game, which is say 21st of December. So until then, I'll stay away. So I've ordered my orange hat. So when that comes, you'll see me in my orange bubbly. And,
do you know what? We should all wear orange as well. I'm being serious. I'll wear my orange jumper until it gets sorted. I'm doing it.
Brilliant. Yeah, and that's obviously they'll be putting the word out. There's going to be lots more information coming out. I mean, this movement started basically on Sunday, Monday, and you look on Twitter, and there's so many people supporting it, and it's just going to grow and grow and grow. I can see there being. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have a couple of thousand people down there, which would be great if we did.
Good. I hope so. I'm all behind you.
Yeah. So that's where we are. It's not a great place to be, but if the fans don't do something, you all yourselves have been there and seen what's happened to clubs in the past, and we don't want to be ending up, because if we go out of the league, we could nosedive like Scunthorpe or go out of business, which is what nobody wants. So hopefully, and I think they're doing it the right way. They said they don't want anything going on in the ground. They want, if the people that want to stay away, they're saying fair play to you. If you want to stay away, stay away. Nobody's going to moan about that. If you just want to go to the game, or if you want to, and don't want to protest, again, that's up to the individual. Some people won't want to do it, but they said if you become part of the protest movement and go to the game, keep it outside. Don't bring it into the crowd. We need to support the team on the pitch because of the position that we're in. So again, they're doing it in such a professional way that it's going to be good from that point of view. It's bad we've got to do it, but it is going to be brilliant. So fair play to the guys, and I hope we get the support that I think we will.
Uncle Nick as well.
Yeah.
Is there anything that we can do as Rochdale fans or any other football fans? Because I know when we were going through troubles, Swindon were one of the first clubs to offer their support. I think we obviously contributed to our crowd fund page where we had to pay our legal fight and things like that. So I don't think not just Rochdale fans, but any other fans in a football pyramid, is there anything we can do to help support it? Is there anything we can do to buy, to contribute, whether it's the orange hats, anything like that? Just absolutely anything could we do to help?
I think what the guys have said, they didn't really want to handle money.
Yeah.
They wanted to sort of avoid that because they're really not. They said they're really not geared up to do it. But I see online today. I've ordered a couple of those hats, and people had the opportunity to pay the 10 quid or as much as you want to pay for them. So they've sort of done it like that. And they said all anything they do like that, they will publish fully open and transparent invoices and spreadsheets of what they're doing. So nothing will be hidden. So people will see exactly what the money's being used for. Because obviously there are going to be expenses. They're on about,
of course.
They've got somebody to do, look after getting a giant tifo. And they want somebody to do that. And obviously all these things cost, they cost money from somewhere. But if I guess probably the best thing would be to message them direct. It's a Spirit of 69. Have a look on there.
Is it on Twitter?
Send a link. Yeah, it's on Twitter. Send a link out, and if anybody, even if it's someone just saying, "Yeah, we support you," I think that would be a big boost.
Yeah,
irrespective of doing anything physically or monetary. Just to get the support from the rest of the football community is going to be massive. I mean, I read the guy said that the number of people that are ordering these hats in a few hours, like selling more than one a minute. He said, "Christ," he said, "I've got to go and pick my kids up from school now. I've got tears in my eyes." It is such. He said it's a bit overwhelming in such a short period of time that people have taken to it. So,
shows that
point of view.
It as well.
100%.
Yeah, so it's really good. So I think if people message them to say that we're behind you, good luck, and I'm sure that will mean a hell of a lot to the guys. And if there's anything more that people can do, I'm sure they'll take it on board because they're they're sound, they're really sound people. They're not just going to come in and go in no time. This is going to be the long haul if it needs to be. Hopefully it won't need to be, but this is what they're expecting, and they'll plan it out from there. And there's basically stuff coming out each day. They were asking for volunteers, and it seems people are coming forward to do things that are being asked. So it's looking good for the organisation. So so that's about where we are. So it's credit to them, absolute top guys.
Yeah, of course, because like I said, you guys and all your fans, when we were going through our struggles, were so supportive. Like there was a lot of other fan bases, but Swindon in particular, and the amount of support and stuff they offered to us, I just want to kind of repay them back, because it's not nice to see any other club, but especially when a club's been there. For my club as well, anything I can do, please let me know. And of course, there's a lot of support in the chat. And this one, I don't know who's asking. Is that a Barnsley top?
What, behind me?
Yeah, it's Swindon.
Of course, he's not a Barnsley top.
I know. Just want him to say Barnsley, I think. I'm only joking. But yeah, we were all in support of Swindon as well.
Yeah,
massively.
Definitely.
Yeah, good. So let's finish on a cheerful note.
Yay! Teddy's here, my best friend.
Podcast support dog.
Yes.
Get his hand.
I'm guessing this is for you, Ben.
It's Maidstone United.
Maidstone.
Who do you support, Jamie?
Yeah, please let us know. Everyone's happy to see Teddy. So cute.
What's he looking at, though?
Teddy, what are you doing?
It's not that spider, is it, Claire?
Obviously not it. I'm gonna get Sam to get it.
I did offer.
Bless you.
Jamie's put, I have to travel to Swindon as I'm doing the 92.
Yeah, but who do you support? My legs.
Well, we wait anyway. That is the end of the football chat. I just want to thank each and every person who's been in the chat tonight. It's been lovely. I know we had a week off from obviously the podcast last week. We were partying. We did win. We were celebrating. It was a Celtic fan.
Oh, nice to have you as one of our pod people. So we had a Celtic State of Mind right next to us last week, and obviously they won.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us.
No, thank you. We have as well, Chris. He's put happy Friday from Melbourne. Leighton Orient are going down this weekend in the FA Cup. Latics then would love to host Big Ange and Spurs at Boundary Park in the third round. He's one of our rivals. He's an Oldham fan, but he's lovely when he comes in, Chris. So
Yeah.
We're friends. We like Chris. He's put, have I missed the National League? Yeah, I'm so sorry you have. We did it first. And you missed me bigging up Oldham as well. I did actually give you credit, so you'll have to go back and watch it. I don't do it often, but I felt like I had to. Kieran's put, woohoo, we won. And Newport didn't lose, woohoo. And then Jamie's put, from God's country, Yorkshire. But it is the end of the football chat. It has been a double game week. We flew through it as well. We've done all right for time, haven't we? We've done all right considering everything we've had to talk about. But Uncle Nick, where can everybody find you if they want to know more about Uncle Nick or all things Swindon?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, as I still call it, Ocus_road. And again, look up Spirit of 69, which will tell you all about the Swindon protests that are going to happen.
This was a low blow. I mean, I was bigging up Oldham and being nice, and then he had to put that. It's a good job this podcast is ending. It's a good job this podcast is ending, or you'll be getting removed. Claire, where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Claire_Jeffs on Twitter, and Hatters_hangout most Tuesdays. Not gonna lie, we completely forgot on Tuesday. But other than that, professionally unprofessional. Tuesday is non-game weeks. You can find us on there. And that's it.
I love that. Ben, where can everybody find you?
No, everyone can find me. No, I'm never going to get it right.
You did it.
Ben Stones FC1 on Twitter has been like Nick. That's why I still call it, and I will never call it X ever.
Same. And I am SharXRAFC. That is on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky now as well. I have gone over to that one because it's very peaceful and very nice. So I might be staying there. But of course, we have the main accounts. So we have an Absolute Football Podcast, and as you can see, we are the best new content creator at the Football Content Awards. Woo! So happy.
And did we scream?
We did. So you can catch us at 8:30 on a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Thursday. On Twitter, we are Absolute Ball Pod. On YouTube and Twitch, we are Absolute Football Podcast. On TikTok, we are Absolute Football Pod. On Instagram and Threads, if you do have Threads, we are Absolute Football Podcast _. On Blue Sky, we are Absolute Football. On Facebook, we have Absolute Football Podcast. On a Monday, we are Absolutely Premier League, and we also cover some of the European leagues too. Not in very much detail, though. If there is any European fanatics that do want an in-depth analysis of European football. That isn't the place, but it's very fun. Very fun. We are Absolutely Women's Football on a Wednesday. Freya and the team, absolutely brilliant. They cover all things women's football, the WSL, Women's Championship, and any other women's football they cover. And obviously, we are Absolutely Lower League. You can catch us on a Thursday, and we cover the EFL Championship, League One, League Two, Vanarama National League North and South as well. But yeah, thank you so much as well to each and every person that has joined us in the chat, and to everybody who voted for us.
Sure, sorry. Before you go, I see Jamie Ball has put a couple of messages up. Just for Jamie, just DM me, and then if there's stuff I can pass through to you. He's talking about merchandise and stuff. So,
brilliant.
Yeah, if he wants anything, just DM me and I'll point him in the right direction.
Love that.
Oh, you're so nice, Uncle Nick.
I know.
I know. Can't.
Sam has said as well, special thank you to all you wonderful people in the chat who supported, voted, and just generally are there for all the podcasts. From me to you, heartfelt thank you. Yeah, as I was saying, what a wonderful community that we have built, and you're all so supportive, and everything that you do for the podcast as well, and what you bring. That award wasn't just for us. Obviously, we do produce the content, but it'd be absolutely nothing without everybody who contributes. And it's not just our award. Josh does have the award at home, but it's for each and every person that has obviously contributed to this being so successful. So yeah, just want to say a massive thank you. It is FA Cup weekend as well for some people. So I hope you all have a lovely weekend. And yeah, thank you for your support, and ta-ta for now.